Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Pterozactyl. I'm Zach, I'm a clairvoyant psychic, and I share my gift to help you bring out the best in yours. In today's video, we are going to be receiving messages from 3 animal spirit guides. We have Black Panther, which is pile 1, Skunk pile 2, and Ant, which is pile 3. Now before you choose a pile, do make an effort to ground your energy, because when you ground your energy, it gives us the best chance to link up in time and space so that I can pull through the most accurate and useful information for you. So what does grounding your energy even look like? Well, you can make a cup of tea, you could try meditating for a little bit, or turn the lights down low, light a couple candles, take a couple deep breaths, and that process can still look totally different for you. Once your energy is grounded, choose between the piles intuitively, and I will meet you at your reading. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the Black Panther, and I'm going to be a little bit honest with you. So I feel like I'm supposed to be a little, how do I want to say this? Like human or honest with you guys? Or there's something right there. I'll flush it out. But what I mean to say is that I tried to do this reading yesterday, and my energy was just not there. But the Black Panther came out as the first card yesterday as well. I kid you not. It was really good. No, it was not the best reading, okay? The messages came out very clearly, but my energy wasn't there. And I just sat down today, felt so much better, and out comes the Black Panther again, which is about embracing the unknown. And so there are a couple messages that I have for you guys. We'll definitely open up your reading with some tarot cards or something like that. But what I wanted to do first was, so here's guys, I really love this deck, and this might be a message for you. If you really like these animal medicine readings, this deck, it's when I first started getting into tarot and reading oracle cards, it felt like they were reading me on a different level. Tarot felt very overwhelming and a little bit non-specific, but whenever I drew one of these animal spirit cards, the messages are so pure and honest and loving. And I guess I'll just set this, I don't know where. Okay, we're here. It's very beautiful. So you might look into this deck. It's called Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams and David Carson. And so I just wanted to share with you guys a personal note that I wrote a couple years ago, I feel like is what it is. And the exact messages may not be you, but I feel like there is an energy that I want you guys to pick up on here. It's kind of a little bit of freeing or freedom energy. So let's just see. I am an artist. I am also a horseman. I need not commit to a single path in my life, thinking in terms of building a contract. Vulnerable, is the word that I was searching for earlier. I feel like for some reason, I'm supposed to be a little bit vulnerable with you guys in this reading. Maybe you guys are feeling vulnerable at this time in your life too. Let me start over. I'm an artist. I'm also a horseman. I need not to commit to a single path in my life, thinking in terms of a binding contract. Life is looser than that and full of surprises, ups and downs of fate. I need only let go to choose a path and begin down it. The experience gained is the whole purpose to life. It will influence me as I go. I won't wait around for my life to be delivered on a silver spoon. However, there is no rush, and that's the point. To live overwhelmed with fear and anxiety is to block intuition. So, I just feel like that's really useful for you guys right now. That could be a little bit of medicine in and of itself, but it's also a reminder to not live or think right now, whatever you're going through in your life, to not think in terms of black and white. I feel like that it can really paint yourself into a corner. So there must be some new beginning that you guys are anticipating, okay? And that is the message of this Black Panther, is to allow this to simply be. I think some of you have fears right now about the future, about your life path, about where you're going, about this new beginning. And the whole point is to not allow the fear to be what guides you. I'm being shown a direct healing technique, which is to actually let yourself feel the feeling of overwhelm and fear, to allow yourself to transmute it. It's not the only way to deal with this emotion, but it's the way that I do. I know it's not going to be everyone's favorite approach, this direct method. There are other ways you can do some healing, but I feel like it's the most practical, useful, direct way. There's a little bit of fear or anxiety about this beginning, and it's stopping you somehow from just going with the flow, thinking, I feel like you guys are like trying to make the most perfect choice right now and weighing up lots of pros and cons, but that could be confusing this. I think ultimately the answer lies within, and we aren't supposed to know everything sometimes, but it's also like you can't know sometimes. Life is filled with surprises, ups and downs, right? For better or for worse. So you might think that you want to go in this one direction, and what if something comes along and that plan like completely flops, right? You shouldn't fear the potential of that, because what if something comes along and actually provides A, something different, or B, you actually get to where you wanted to be much faster. So there's always going to be this unknown. You can never know everything. Your soul can only hold so much information in a human incarnation anyways. And some real life lessons come when we embrace the unknown and take a leap of faith. I feel like there is a beginning that you guys are on the eve of. You're really sensing this. Now, timelines can shift, so you may already be in this. I sense for the most of you, though, based on the nature of this card, that we're about to begin this. We're about to take a major leap of faith. And the lesson that I was hinting at is that the universe will catch you. And I know that sounds scary. I absolutely get that. And I'm relaying this message based on personal experience. So I'm not just being here saying, hey, you go jump off the cliff and see if you land on your feet, kind of like a cat. I've done this before, and it is terrifying, but it was almost, I think everyone here will be at a different place with your faith. So some of you may have already done leaps of faith like this before, and I'm just here to remind you that you've done this before. You've done this before. Just have a little bit of courage. You were caught last time, were you not? Try to think about a time in your life where you really did just take a leap of faith, and some things just came out of nowhere. There's a lesson there about faith and about potential, about the universe having so many more solutions than we can ever think of. And it's like giving the universe a little bit of room or credit to be able to work with you. I do feel like in this carnation, maybe others, maybe that's the whole point of life, it's that it is a co-creation. Because We come from consciousness. We're a spark of consciousness, and so we are very much, in control to a degree. But we are from something else because we're all together and whole. And so it's not necessarily that it's completely up to us to make all these choices. There's a little bit of a co-creative act going on. So there's something that you guys are meant to experience right now. And I think it's this unknown, this leap of faith. And let me be the first to tell you, again, that is not easy to do, especially because of limiting beliefs, whether they are self-limiting beliefs imposed upon you by society. You're thinking about money, you're thinking about the 3D, and it's almost like this lesson is actually a 5D lesson where you manifest without a practical tool, where you manifest using the mind, where you make a leap of faith where there's literally, you can't see that tangible step, but there's all you have to go on basically are the people who have done this before. People like myself, people like the authors who wrote this book, people who, use the medicine of the Black Panther about embracing the unknown, because the universe will catch you. All right, so let's move a little bit forward. More messages of this will come out. Again, I feel like I just want to say over and over again to trust this. If you actually really have been thinking about something, you feel like this is really speaking to you, you're really resonating with this concept of, I know that I need to make this move, but I can't map out how to go past it. It's like you can get to here and then there's nothing right here. But what you don't see is the universe, is my hand right here. And there's all of these solutions, okay? And so right now we're thinking we're just here. And when we leap, there's nothing. But again, spirits, you can't see them for the majority of us, right? But they're there, Gravity, you can't see it. It's there. And that's what I'm being shown right now, is that there's so money, there's money there for you too. Especially if you feel like money is holding you back, I guess. There are so many opportunities and options and like synchronicities and magic. I feel like the universe in a different lens really wants to flex right now. I feel like they really want to flex and show you how incredibly magical life is. All right, so let's open this message. Let's reach for some tarot cards. Okay. Oh, come on. La 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 la. Okay. So let's just, I kind of want to leave this a little open. So let's just see. Okay. We'll start here. It might not be the end of the message, but we'll start here, you guys. So what I feel like Spirit is showing me is this is the future, but this is where we're at right now. I think what you don't see in front of you is you stepping into the energy of the King of Cups, or this is someone stepping forward for you. I think that this lesson about embracing the unknown is going to deliver everything that you desire, which seems to be about a stable relationship. It could be with yourself as well. It could be soul growth, okay? But it is also something to do with your legacy, career and finances, your health. I see you as a very wise individual. For some of you, you've never done this before. You've never ever taken a leap of faith. And it's not that those are necessarily missed opportunities, but you have an opportunity right now to experience this lesson, to experience this soul growth, because I feel like this is, it's really important. Let me move past that. Some of you, you've done this before. okay? And you will know who you are, but it feels like right now we're waiting for the perfect solution. Some of us, I think, might need to do a little housekeeping. There might be a relationship that we have to part ways from. There might be a physical location we have to part ways from. There might be a line of work we have to part ways from. I just think that there's this energy that we're a little bit trapped in. And I see this as a disconnect between the mind and the heart. Now, in this day and age, we give a lot of credit to logic, but I feel like the bigger brain we have is our heart. Okay, it's a much more accurate compass. And I feel like right now we're using logic to solve an emotional problem. And I feel like you are meant to become this King of Cups. You are meant to become so stable financially that you can give freely to others and you can support future generations. I also think that there's an important work you're supposed to do in this incarnation. Combined with the King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, I see a creative writer, a singer-songwriter, a poet, a teacher at the very least, something creative, anything creative. Think of any art form that you're supposed to leave behind as like a piece of you. It's like, what do you want your mark on the universe to be? This comes from this leap of faith. But right now, I see us kind of focusing on ideas or potentials, but not recognizing, literally, this is unseen right here, the hand coming from the clouds. Here is you again, trying to figure out what comes next and not being able to see that hand, which is actually, I'm realizing now, so synchronistic. I was using my hand to show like multiple ideas, not, like pointing. It's a hand coming from the universe to support you, to catch you. I guess the universe, spirit wants me to tell you about another time where I guess one of my own leaps of faith. And I think if you've been on this channel before, you may have heard this story. I think someone in here just needs to hear it. I was at a job I loathed for 3 years. I tried to quit once, they gave me a raise. I tried to quit a second time, they gave me another raise. And then this third time, I could just feel myself dissociating. And I was coming up with very 3D solutions. 3D solutions. And the reality is 4D or 5D, something you can't see. I feel like something intangible that you're not anticipating is the solution to this, whatever this seems to be for you, pile one. Okay, so I kept trying to think of where could I find that was cheaper so that the money I was making from this job wouldn't take so much, rent wouldn't be such a suck from it. And I was trying to think of different ways to make the commute shorter or to spend less money on food. And all of these ways were very 3D and very limiting. What it ultimately took was me just leaping. I finally got to a point where I almost just didn't care. I said, I just can't do this job anymore. It's sucking the life out of me. And I had experience at that point with taking leaps of faith. I don't want to go back that far, but and so I just did it. I walked out of the job. Maybe not the best solution. Not necessarily suggesting that for you, but I needed to do that on a soul level. So I just walked out, and do you know what happened to me? I literally got an offer within 2 days after just walking out of that job by my favorite photographer. He needed someone to assist him. So I literally got to go to Chicago and assist him in a photo shoot, which was amazing and gave me so much information about the industry that I wanted to be in full time. I wanted to be a photographer, a fashion photographer, a commercial photographer, but I was working at an animal hospital. And then after that photo shoot wrapped up, literally that weekend, I got, someone wanted me to shoot their wedding. And then things just started to fall into place. And then I finally got an opportunity to move from where I was living in Wisconsin to California. And it's just like you sometimes just have to go. It's intangible, you got to make this leap of faith, and it is terrifying. And I want you to know that I feel that, but that's not the only emotion you should feel. You might feel excited about it. I just feel like there's going to be a burst of energy that comes along when you take this leap of faith where things just fall into place. It just happens just like that. It's a little bit of a lesson, right? I feel like it's a very important lesson for you, though, because what it does is it also reminds you how fully capable you are of shifting and changing your destiny, as long as you remember that it is a co-creation. Because sometimes we cannot come up with the perfect solution, and that's when we have to remember that we're a soul having a human experience, and there are unseen things and forces that we can rely upon to help fuel us. For example, have you ever been successful at manifestation or the law of attraction or assumption? If you have before, maybe use that as a little bit of logic to help give you this little push that I sense that you guys might need. All right, well, let's go ahead and I feel like that's all I want to get from the tarot, but I do want to look at something else. I want to pull one of these cards. I don't know, again, I don't really know what, but I'm just gonna... maybe some advice from Spirit. Wind with activation. You guys have an opportunity right now. I'm hearing that energetically you're at a very good place. For you to take this move in the wind to just push you all the way to the other shoreline. For others of you, what I'm getting is that there is a moment that comes into being in the very near future. And this is as I'm being shown, it's as much as we can give you, where you're still able to learn this lesson on the soul level about taking leaps of faith and having the universe provide with you for it to be a co-creation. So what I'm seeing is it is the absolute most nudge that we can give you in order for you to still learn this lesson. So just keep your eyes on this. For some of you, there are fears. Okay, there are unjust fears, and like I said at the beginning of the reading, you might make a direct approach to treat those so they're not influencing your desire to, embrace the unknown, to take this leap of faith. So you allow yourself to feel all the way through them. Sometimes I'm not energetically ready or capable of feeling the entire fear episode through me, anxiety, insecurity, self-limiting belief, doubt, guilt, whatever that is for you guys. And I will feel it for a couple seconds and it'll go away and I'll do something else. I'll make my mind think of something else. But I will bring it back. And even if it's for 1 second and I send it away, I will bring it back again. And I tell you, this is an even simpler way to deal with this directly is to just give it to yourself in a little bit of doses. And that third or fourth time that fear comes back in, it is less scary and you can feel all the way through it. And you will know when this leaves your body because you will feel lighter and you will also feel self-confident. I'm also hearing to breathe all the way into the to the sacral chakra. So what you might do is look up pranic breathing. Okay, make sure that you guys, when you breathe, do your collarbones and your chest lift? Or does your stomach expand? It should be your stomach. It changed my life when I learned that. It's a massive change. Breathe through your stomach. Let your stomach expand. In our culture, we do so much to have a flat stomach and a thin body and to push our chest out and suck our stomach in. It forces all the air so super high that even though you breathe in with your collarbones or chest, some will reach the lower depths of your lungs, but nothing compared to when you chronically breathe through your stomach. What you can do, you guys can look this up on your own, but you can just breathe in for 7 seconds, hold it for a count, breathe out for 7 seconds, hold it for a count. There are multiple ways you can do this. You can breathe in for 6, hold it for 3, breathe out for 6, hold it for 3, etc. These are all messages coming through just to kind of help you guys process fears or anxieties about embracing the unknown. I want to wrap up here and just again, I know that this is not easy. I know it's not easy. And I know it kind of sometimes makes you sweat a little bit. But the universe is always working with you. You guys have a spiritual team on the other side who's always working with you, and you will know if this message is for you. And if it really resonates, Spirit is very excited to see you make this change, to take this leap of faith, to go into the unknown, to see and experience firsthand the magic of the universe, right? The unknown, that what is not there. It's going to boost your spirituality and boost your connection to your guides and the universe and boost your faith as well. All right, you guys, I want to thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. If you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really does help my channel, helps other people find these messages too. Of course, I do book private clients. You can find my email below, or you can find a link where you can book your own reading. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Okay, so you guys chose the skunk, which is all about your reputation. And I will also say that I feel like the skunk is a little bit hard to kind of summarize with just one word or concept. I really feel like for you guys, this kind of has to do with ego and a little bit how you feel about yourself. The skunk is all about respect and energy flows. And so making sure that you're aware of the people that you've been attracting lately and just recognizing the qualities about them. If you like those qualities that you see in the people you've been attracting lately, recognize and have a little bit of self-esteem there, for those qualities lie within you. That's why you're attracting them. Now, if there are qualities about these people that you don't like, maybe you might be leaking a little bit of energy, and just become a little bit aware of that. So the skunk, obviously we know they're a little bit smelly. They repel those that are not skunks and attract those that are skunks, so their own people. So just recognize, I think flows of energy right now are going to be a basic theme for your reading. And let's go ahead and broaden this. Actually, let's do some earth magic first. Okay. Move a little skunky over there. Okay. So, let's see how we kind of want to peer into this message. So, Spirit, this is for Pile 2. Everyone who chose the skunk. Okay, let's just give this a real good, wow, I haven't seen a white butterfly in a really long time. If white butterflies are very significant to you, I just want to pass on that message. You may have asked to see a white butterfly today. Usually white butterflies, when there's numerous ones, it's kind of like an invitation to sort of like, there might be a sea change coming. This was just one single butterfly though, which is usually just a big hello from Spirit. So let's take a look. We have love with compassion at the heart of this message. We have vulnerability on one side and we have purification on this side. This makes a lot of sense to me, okay? I think that there are some people in your life right now and some of them might need to be shifted away from you. Spirit really just wants you to recognize where your energy is coming from. It's really important right now to recognize where you're putting energy in and how you carry yourself. Because one of the best messages from Skunk is that the way you think about yourself is your best protection, because it will repel people who are not on that vibration and it will attract people who are. So if you have a lot of self-love and compassion, you're going to attract people who have a lot of self-love and compassion too, maybe spiritually developed like you are. And you're going to repel the people who are kind of against that. It's a different vibration, you know. I'm getting this concept of just pushing away someone. You know, when you try to describe spirituality with someone, or maybe magic or psychic ability, and they're not quite ready to hear that message, and you can kind of recognize that. For some reason, it's like the most important message from this skunk. I usually get leaking sexual energy. So, you really want someone, but they don't really like you and don't really have the courage to say it back. That's kind of usually the message I get with skunk. Today, it really does feel a little bit more about your reputation and walking your walk and talking your talk. Something about feeling very good about who you are. If you have things to feel very good about, and of course you do if you're attracted to this channel. Now, what I'm getting as well, we have compassion at the heart of this. We have vulnerability here, and then purification over here. So I feel like some of you may have been rejected recently. You could have been rejected recently, and we might need to purify that. There's definitely something I feel in your energy field that we might want to kind of let go of or just cleanse away. The Spirit really wants to keep highlighting the emphasis for you to feel good about yourself. It's so important to feel good about yourself because people pick up on your self-esteem at an extrasensory level. And so if you have honest intentions behind reaching out to someone, they're going to feel that, even if you're communicating a message that they might not want to hear. And if you are being a little bit deceptive, there's something in the energy field that might be deceptive, they're going to feel that on an extrasensory level, for good or for worse. I want to pick up on this rain with purification. Spirit, can I take a look at this? This is for pile 2. Okay, and why is the 2 of Swords here? Okay. Not looking at a situation. All right, I'm recognizing, and it's not going to be a message for everyone, that people who chose pile 1, the number of Black Panther is 52, which is 7. Skunk is also 7, and you might have felt drawn towards pile 1. If you were one of those people, this might just be a message for 1 or 2 of you guys. You might check out pile 1. So what I see that needs to be purified away, it's this like not looking at something or looking at something too in a limiting way, in a black or white way, and it's not giving you enough wiggle room. It's not giving you the whole situation. There's something about hemming and hawing over something is causing a lot of confusion, and I feel like what we really need to see with this purification card, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but there's so much like it's real mist, real heavy mist that's going on here. And the mist really does talk to me about kind of like a smoke screen. All right. And so I feel like you guys have a lot more to feel good about than you let your energy field feel. I think you guys are very kind individuals. You understand that compassion is the highest currency of all. Love and compassion. I really think that those frequencies are very good. I actually like the idea of compassion more than love, just because love and light has become a little bit of a cliche in this day and age, and compassion holds a little bit of a different meaning. Compassion recognizes the self in others, especially if they are just in a low vibration or just in a bad funk. It's recognizing that you've been there too, and not judging them and giving them space and kind of giving them compassion for that. Okay, so with this rain and purification, though, I just feel like there is some sort of situation or decision that's weighing on your mind. It's time to kind of clear that away. The advice from Spirit is to shift your energy, to shift your perspective. I think using too much logic is blocking one of your better brains, right? So we have these 2 swords crossing the chest. Behind them is the heart. We have the brain, we have the heart. I think that in this day and age, I've certainly been there many times myself, we use the brain, we value the brain for logic, but the heart is also a brain, and I feel like it is a much more accurate compass. The Two of Swords to me says you know something, if you would let yourself feel it, but you're trying to kind of use logic to doctor a situation or to make this decision. And there's black and white logic. I don't really know if it's going to be effective here. She's wearing gray. We talked about all the gray going on the purification. I think the solution might be somewhere in between. Rather, it is you just need to choose one and it's going to open up a path for you. With the Four of Cups there, it kind of re-illustrates this concept of just like the attention is focused in like a not productive way. Whether that's, too much attention on something or focusing on kind of a negative detail. We need to shift the perspective to be a little bit more optimistic in order to attract what you want. Again, with the skunk message, I feel like this is about attracting the right vibration. So if you guys are desiring something, maybe it is love, maybe it is a commitment with someone. I think right now, focusing on all the days and months and years that you've been single or all the relationships that haven't worked out, it's blocking you from experiencing one that's going to. It doesn't have to be a relationship for all of you, but I think that message is pretty clear. Now, before we take a look at compassion, I kind of want to see... I'm pretty sure actually that skunk is still in camera, so let me just believe that it is. If it's not, forgive me. Okay, so the meadow with vulnerability spirit, another 4. I think you guys are very protective of your energy. I think you're very protective of your energy, and for good reason. I think that you guys are sensitive. You could also be extra sensitive. And so you can often wear someone else's energy. Yeah. Spirit just showed me you taking off a cloak and putting on yours. Your cloak. What color is that? You pick it right now. Is it yellow? Did someone say yellow? Leave a comment below. Is it yellow gold? Is it like a wizard's robe? So it's maroon and it's got gold inlaid and there's sparkles. Or is it blue with gold or silver sparkles? You choose what that robe is. Spirit is showing me a clear emphasis that this message is not usually the one that I try to relay. The message I'm getting is that we want you to take off someone else's coat. And so you make sure that you are attracting and repelling based on your unique frequency. Okay? I think that some of you might... there's just a low energy such as guilt, sorrow, anguish, something along these lines. And it might not be that dramatic. It feels a lot closer to guilt or indecision. We just need to get rid of that. I really want to leave that message in the past, though. I think that the first one about attracting and being in the vibration of what you wish to experience is a lot more accurate. Okay, so with vulnerability and meadow, I really do feel like you guys are holding on to some sort of, it's your energy. It's your energy. Just give me 2 seconds, you guys. Thank you, guys. I had to answer the door. So what I sense is that I feel like you guys really protect your energy, and this is a very good thing, but sometimes I feel like you might repel people who are on your side. That's an interesting message coming through with vulnerability. It's a very good quality. Some of you, I'm also hearing the flip side to that. Your energy is so delicious, it's like nectar. I'm picking up on bees attracted to flowers. And some people might kind of draw on your energy, and you might need to utilize the energy of the skunk and spray them away. That is the message that's coming through now with clarity, with this rain and purification. For some of you, these are separate messages. Okay? But I am also getting this concept where you need to guard your energy, be very aware of how beautiful you are. Your vibration is this, is what Spirit shows me. You lie in the vibration very close to compassion and love. That to me gives an empath or an extra sensitive. And what Spirit wants you to do, because there is such a strong emphasis on this not being the usual message, we want you to spray in the direction of these people who might be trying to, literally siphon off your energy. Not to scare you, but you might literally have an energy vampire that you live with, or just this negative energy that if you live alone, again, please don't take fear from those statements, because that literally is that negative energy winning, if you know what I mean right now. If you're confused about this, just leave a comment below. I can help you doctor this solution. But Spirit wants you to have a little bit more assuredness. They're showing me you putting on a great coat. It's a specific type of coat with like a wool collar that's like folded and pressed. It's called a great coat. Maybe look it up. But it's giving me this concept of armor and a sense of pride. This has nothing to do with ego, but I just feel like you might need to wear a little bit of a more respectable energy for yourself. The way you respect yourself and the way you feel about yourself is your greatest form of protection. And that's what Spirit shows me. Your vulnerability is something you might need to take notice of. I know that you know this a little bit. I know that some of you think that you're empaths. You totally are. Maybe you might want to look up extra sensitivities, extrasensory processing sensitivities. Okay, because people can pick up on your energy on an extrasensory level. And I think that's what Spirit really wants to talk about in your reading. Let's see what else we want to go into. I feel like those messages came out pretty smoothly. Okay. So let's go ahead and reach for another deck. Okay. So Spirit, with this skunk, is there anything that I missed? Is there perhaps a message that I missed? We might come back to that love and compassion card. I don't know. I was just kind of shown to bring it back out. Okay, we'll kind of just leave that there. Okay, this is for pile 2. Is there a message I missed? Sorry, you guys. Oh my goodness. Eight of Swords fell out on the ground. Just a quick message. It's to me talking about barriers and restricting yourself. I think sometimes you guys have a tendency to overprotect yourself. And that to me talks about someone who needs to have a little bit more self-respect so that other people respect your boundaries too. Again, what Spirit is showing me is it's not the usual interpretation of the Eight of Swords, which always gives me self-limiting belief, trapping you, the mind again. I feel like what Spirit wants to show you and remind you is the quality of your soul, and that your empathy is not, your vulnerability is not something that people, okay, thank you, Spirit, can take advantage of unless you let them. Energy, flows of energy is the biggest emphasis here. Energy is not, this is very difficult, okay? It's very difficult to hear. It's important medicine though. Energy is not taken from you, it's given. I know you might not agree with that, but it took me a long time to come around to it. It makes so much sense though, because we operate from free will. No other human can take from you. That violates the law of free will. So if you feel like something is draining from you, energy vampires do exist, but those are people who are very good at manipulating you to suck off and siphon your energy. That is what I'm getting, you guys. So it's really important that you fortify yourself with your mind. Make sure your mind is on your side, especially if you have to be around other people. If your environment is something you're very sensitive to. There's a special power that you can step into as an empath when you recognize your ability as an empath. When you recognize that you don't need to give a situation energy and attention. That's what Spirit is showing me is the most important message right now, it's like an empath awakening. So there are many things you can do to help you in the physical, like wearing black tourmaline. To move the table. But what Spirit shows me is that there's a lot more protection in the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you carry yourself. You don't have to avoid eye contact. And for example, you don't have to walk around with your eyes on the ground in order to avoid eye contact. You don't have to feel or give away your energy in a situation. I will explain this as best I can. sometimes when you're in an interaction and it's negative to you, it feels like they're taking from your energy. In that moment, you need to recognize that you're giving the energy instead. Spirit's being there is a very strong empath in this reading. Okay, and you have a superpower to unlock once you recognize that your energy is never taken from you, it is given. So fortify yourself in your mind and recognize that you have this special ability. It is a superpower once you recognize it. It does rob us when we don't, when we haven't learned that lesson. Because eventually you're going to be able to be a healer, a very powerful healer. And I think one of your strongest abilities at present is your ability to listen to someone and to have someone felt listened to. But I think in some of those situations, it feels like you're being robbed of your energy. And what Spirit wants you to recognize is that you kind of have to step into your power as a soul and fortify your mind and recognize that it's only ever given. Okay? So let's just see if there's another message that I didn't pick up on. This is for pile 2, the skunk with love and compassion. Okay. So this is for pile 2. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? That is amazing. Okay, you guys, I really do think that is the message I was supposed to relay with you guys. I think that's really funny. So I want to thank you guys for spending a little bit of your time with me. And if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really does help my channel, helps other people find these messages too. And of course, I do book private clients. You can find my email below or a link to book your own reading. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. You chose ant, and the ant is all about patience, okay? And so I feel like there are a couple main messages coming through. One of them has to do with patience, so strong Capricorn energy about having satisfaction in little steps at a time and knowing that they're cumulative. Knowing is the second message, and it's really important. It's a knowingness that whatever you desire, you will receive at that proper time or when you are primed for it. I just got a ding. My phone's in the living room, so you probably guys, no way you could hear that, but it has to do with this knowingness for pile 3. And it feels like I'm kind of speaking out in a soul sense. I almost want to captivate your entire reading in this message right here, pile 3. The knowingness, it is your secret weapon. It shows your trust in the universe to provide for you. It's I'm stuttering a little bit because I feel like we'll definitely reach for more cards for sure, but this is like medicine for you right now, and it's something that I feel like you really could, it would be very useful for you guys to remember, because I feel like you guys know this, okay? So you guys are building something, and it may not be where you want it to be right now. It could be a relationship, it could be a path to spirituality, it could be a ritual, it could be a spiritual practice, it could be a job, it could be a career, and it could be an art project or something creative. I feel like you guys have identified something really good. It feels really, really good. And I think that it might take a lot longer to bear the fruit you desire than shorter. I think it's going to take longer than it is going to be shorter. And so what we want you to have in the interim is patience and a knowingness that you have selected something very good. It's in harmony with you. It feels very resonant to your soul. Recognize that sometimes things take a lot of patience. And while you are developing your patience, it's good to have a knowingness about this working out, because then you are always fueling your process with the best possible flow of energy instead of doubting it, which could create little dams and hurdles. have this knowingness, okay? So we'll move that over there. I like the way that that's going, and let's open this up with some tarot. Might take this in a couple different directions, but let's see first what the ant wants to really talk about. I see the Ten of Swords there. Maybe patience is not your strong suit. Okay, but it has its rewards, okay? So one of the messages that was coming through when the Empress popped out was, I feel like you guys would really benefit right now from recognizing that you have chosen correctly. Spirit is bringing me back to that point. This thing you've identified, where you want to go, it could literally be on a vision board of yours. It could be a new car. There's something you guys have identified is taking a little bit longer than you expected to come into fruition. There are a couple things you can do with your energy until it arrives, okay? You can be in this energy of patience. The Empress is receptive. She is not the Emperor. She is not going out chasing this. She knows it will come in the proper time. This has a little bit to do with your vibration. So if you're waiting on something to come in, what you could do is work on the mindset, is what Spirit shows me. Recognize that you've chosen something very correct for you, and allow that to fill you with knowingness that you will experience it. I hope this is making sense. Once you figure out that, okay, you're right, I want that so badly, I know I will experience it. Hold that vibration, pile 3. Hold that knowingness, okay? I know that I will publish my book. I know that I've been through some hurdles. I know it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I know it's taking an exhaustive amount of energy. Sometimes it feels like I'm barking up the wrong trees. Sometimes it feels like it's too big. Identify something big, or recognize right now, pile 3, what this something big is. Because until it arrives, there are things that you can do. Patience, if you want to just throw that to the wayside, that's fine. You can hold your vibration. You can focus on your vibration or your mindset to help you adopt this knowingness. Okay? Make yourself feel what it feels like to have that accomplished. It's less about the law of attraction and assumption and more about just a knowingness. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but it's a really important message that I just see them like underlying it over and over and over again. It's because it's what I wanted to do at the beginning of your reading, which was just cut to the end. Just cut to the chase, where it's like, as long as you know this, pile 3, and you feel it like, okay, I know that I'm going to publish this book. I know that I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I just know this. It's a part of me. I know it's going to come out. Focus there. Keep your energy in that place, because I see this coming into fruition for you. Spirit wants to emphasize on the divine feminine. Maybe you guys don't have as much practice with the divine feminine. That would be very apparent in this day and age because of consumerism and capitalism. It always drives us forward, makes us find the solutions. Sometimes things take a lot of time to build up. And when you read about them in the news, you just read about, so-and-so best-selling author or this movie released. It started with an idea. So many things had to come into play and so much time passed. But what we see is just sort of the celebration at the very end. So just recognize that some things take time. Okay? I feel like that was a really good message. I want to sort of just move in a different place. Sorry, guys. Is there something else that we could develop with this? Is there another way we want to take this reading, Spirit? This is for pile 3. I do think that there is a message in there. I just need to have a little patience. Sorry, you guys, that was such a cheap joke. Hey, there's our Empress. Okay. The focus on the divine female. Yeah, because in this day and age, it's so much about moving forward with masculine energy. With this Empress, she's in no hurry. She knows that she is abundant and worthy. It could be that worthiness, okay? Allow yourself to really feel that you are capable of achieving this and see yourself in the future achieving this. Have a little patience right now. You might take your mind off something else and put your creative energy towards that while you continue to build whatever it is that you guys are building. Spirit is showing me that, there are things you can do in the interim while you're waiting for it to arrive. I think that you could focus on creativity and putting your energy into something creative as well. I'm not going to take those cards. The Empress. Let's take a peek at what she has to say. What I'm recognizing is that this is a major arcana card, which is a little bit of a big deal. Okay, not a bad thing. It's a soul level lesson, and I think it has to do with patience as well. I think that's why that's why she popped out for a second time, you guys. We really want to emphasize on this lesson right now. And I just heard cancel capitalism. I just heard, which I would love. If you guys like my messages on this channel, you probably resonate with that as well. I feel like what you could really benefit from is learning this lesson of waiting for things to come in divine timing. And I know that is not everyone's favorite answer. Just recognize that what you have chosen to build will take time. It will take time. That is not a negative thing. You're building your creative lens. You're building many things along the way is what Spirit is showing me. Okay, so there are lots of things that add up right now. Spirit is showing me, they're using my tarot channel as an example. I just got a ding in the other room. I swear to God. A year ago, there were so many things to figure out. I was still I will be honest, a year ago, I was still getting familiar with some of the cards in the tarot deck, right? Let alone building my aesthetic, let alone finding which lens I want to look at readings through, let alone working on the quality of my voice and the tone of my voice and set design and graphic design and art direction for my thumbnails. So many puzzle pieces that I wanted to figure out that needed to still fall into place. That's what we want you to focus your energy on. All those other aspects that matter. There's no rush. That's what Spirit's trying to say right now. There is no rush. And in fact, rushing right now is going to be against what you're supposed to learn. I think what the universe wants to show you right now, yeah, I said universe, not even Spirit. The universe wants to show you this essence of divine timing and you not having to push forward for everything to make it happen for you. We really want to define the divine feminine. It's a really important energy to have because we focus so much on this day and age in the masculine energy, making things happen for us. When you go forward with that much brunt force, there is actually a thread of doubt in there, is what Spirit is showing me. Because you are trying so hard to make it happen because you're afraid of it not happening. That's very interesting. They usually don't express the divine masculine like that. So we'll take you. Fog failed. Okay. And we'll just take a couple more. Summer with radiance. Ooh, the sun is coming out. And wind with activation. Okay, so this is what I see, you guys. When things are not moving, when things seem obscure, okay, the best thing that you can do when you are out on the water and there is a fog is, yes, check your radar, for sure, but it's not necessarily move forward because you don't want to crash into the rocks. It's actually a time to sit still, maybe even drop an anchor. This Empress, she definitely has her anchor dropped. She's not moving anywhere and she looks really comfortable. You should feel comfortable too where you're at. I think that I'm really excited about what this means for you guys. You guys have definitely have your eye on some sort of prize in the distant future. Spirit keeps sending me a message. It almost feels like different guides for each of you being like, yes, Yes, that is exactly what you designed before you incarnated. Just remember you're in the 3D. Things move very slowly down here. Things move slowly down here, really slowly sometimes, especially when we get into mindsets where we think we have to drive forward. It can actually create a dam. So what they're showing me is, and this is beautiful, there is the sun piercing through that fog. Okay? So if we sit still long enough, the fog will lift. It's not necessarily sitting still and avoiding taking any actions. It's more the mindset, because the sun has to do with self-awareness. Okay, so if you can change your mindset, change your perspective, that you're not, it's not that you're in the energy of nothing moving, you're in the energy of things moving slowly. That slight perspective shift, I feel like, is very empowering for you. You're not sitting still and nothing's happening. You're taking cumulative baby steps that are slow and feel slow, but are cumulative. Okay, so what I see is the fog. So sit still. The sun comes through and brings you warmth and awareness. And this, sitting still, actually is an activation. Okay? It's literally like I see this wind blowing a little bit with the sun, causing the fog, causing the veil to completely disperse. So there are benefits, again, to patience. I feel like for some of you, there is a little bit this concept that there's a puzzle piece that's missing, because things come in divine timing. If you were primed in this moment to receive the audience that you desire, to receive the dream house, dream car, life goal, the book being published, if you were primed and ready for that in this moment, you would be experiencing it. Okay? And I'm not trying to say you're not ready, but essentially no, you're not, because there's something else that should come to light. I feel like there is a little bit of growth that still needs to happen, and you know what? That is not a bad thing. Okay, sometimes I love to see the emphasis right here on the horizon. Changing from black, there is a dawn, okay? There is a dawn here. And the sun is coming in and shedding light on the situation. Okay, so what I'm being shown is the mindset shift is going to bring about all sorts of other factors. Can I see the summer with radiance? Oh, yes, I love to see it. Heavy emphasis, you guys, now on the sacral chakra, but also the solar plexus, okay? I think that what we're talking about is something creative in nature. Now we have the emphasis on two major arcana cards. What I think, okay, Spirit just told me that your confidence needs to be built. In order for you to be able to hold what you desire, your confidence needs to be built. I think it's going to take... okay, there is another lesson here because it is a major arcana card. The patience, I love to see the progression from a 3 all the way up to the 8. Okay, so things are moving forward, once we sit a beat, or become comfortable with things not moving quickly. Just because they're not moving, quickly does not mean that they're not moving, is another message that's coming through. But this lesson of patience, I think, is also the gateway to learning about something you need in order to carry what you're building in your vibration. It's definitely strengthening you at the soul level. Your patience, your knowingness. Okay, we have the figure 8 there, which talks about yourself as a soul. You're an infinite being, a spiritual being, having a human experience. I think right now for your spiritual growth, there is a lesson of patience that brings about a lesson about your inner strength. So this has to do with conquering self-doubt. I see you guys really strengthening your confidence and sacral chakra. So that has to do with creativity. There's definitely a creative lens that we need you to incorporate right now, or to take, it's what Spirit is showing me is my early work on this YouTube channel compared to my work now. It is not where I want it to be, but it is so much further along than where it began. They're showing me creative work for you as well, an improvement with your creative approach to this. Okay, so it could literally be the literal creative work, so like your art direction, or it could be your creative approach. Some way of you approaching this situation shifts the energy and makes things move again. I think that's what we were talking about, right? Can I see the wind with activation? Can I see the wind with activation? We'll do it. Okay, with wind with activation, we have the two. Okay. We have your eye on the prize here. We have the moon. We have the 9. Okay, what I'm getting, because we have the double emphasis on something being hidden, the fog with veiled and the moon, I think that these truths are very useful, should be taken to heart. That is the first message. The second message is, I think that there is an answer that is coming to you in your dreams. Okay? This answer has to do with something to do with your creative approach or your literal creative energy that you're putting into this project that you're building. Use project very loosely, pile 3. I think that there is some awareness in your dreams, okay? But there are also deeply set self-limiting beliefs, fears, and insecurities that could be preventing this. The Spirit is showing me that that is what causes the activation. When you recognize that there really are some insecurities, self-doubts, and self-limiting beliefs that are the holdup right now. Healing this, remember, causes wind with activation, which is movement. This is where we are now. This is where we must move into because it is a catalyst for the literal catalyst, which is the wind. Okay? Does this make sense, you guys? There's definitely something, what comes through, I relay this often, is think about becoming a singer, okay? And you have all the talent in your bedroom or when you're singing in the shower, or even sometimes at your vocal lessons, but put yourself on a stage filled with 10,000 people. Do you think that you would have that same level of self-confidence? I would not. I wouldn't. I don't have experience with that. And so there's something that is still being built. So what Spirit really wants you to do is focus your attention on something, focus your attention on not the fact that this is moving slowly, that there are other things that need to be polished and strengthened first in order for you to get what you actually want. The universe works with you because if you experience something that you haven't experienced yet or something new, you're adding experience to the universe. And so the universe is always going to help you work towards that. What they're showing me is that there is this hurdle that is in the way first that has to do with healing the sacral chakra and the solar plexus because there is a blockage there, which is a deep-seated fear or insecurity. I think that your dreams might be showing you a hint on this. Okay, if there is a nightmare that comes in, this sounds very specific, but I'm going to let you guys know anyways. I used to have nightmares all the time about grizzly bears, okay, coming and attacking me and, being even in my house. And, I watched too many bad documentaries of, not bad, I love documentaries, just grizzly bear attacks. It really screwed me up as a kid. It's a fear that I carried all the way until about a year ago, and I'm 30 now. What they're showing me is a little bit of a secret that I want to give you, okay, because it's going to heal your self-confidence and it's going to heal your sacral chakra. What they're showing me is I used to have all these nightmares about this grizzly bear, and one time, instead of running away down the trail, I actually turned around and I ran towards the bear and grabbed it in a bear hug, LOL. And I never had a nightmare about a bear again. I haven't since. And I felt this huge shift in me and lots of things started shifting in my life. So I feel like there is something around that would be very useful for you. Okay, that is very, very practical advice from Spirit and something I had to learn on my own. And I feel very happy that I get to share that with you so you don't have to do that. It feels like it frees the road for you because we have a sun moon here. And I feel like the moon is superimposed over the sun. And so the way to get to the sun is through the moon. The sun is coming out for us for sure. And this illumination lights the path ahead because you guys have identified something, pretty far in the distance, or a big something. If it's not far in the distance, it's a big something. And I feel like through the moon, through that, the moon represents the hidden, the subconscious. With the Nine of Swords there, insecurities, fears. The moon also represents fear and insecurity. When you avoid it, it lives in your body. It will never go away until you shine a light on it. So through the moon is the light, or through the moon is the sun. I hope this is making sense for you guys. All right, well, I do think that is the message from the ant, and I want to thank you guys for spending a little bit of your time with me. And if you've made it this far into the video, please give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really does help my channel grow, helps other people find these messages too. Of course, I book private clients, and you can find my email listed below or a link to be able to purchase one of those for yourself. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine.